I hope your front door is locked and your phone is switched off. It's match time, and nothing can come in the way of a head coach and his Blood Bowl.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the grand final of the Blood Bowl 2 2018 World Cup. Hello, everyone. I'm the Sage, and I'm joined here by VG Purist.
Hey, what's going on, guys? The World Cup Championship match. Oh, I'm ready. You ready, Sage?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. This is gonna be awesome. So many games played, so many battles fought. Two coaches remain triumphant for now. Silsei from France, Ornan from the US. Two great coaches, two great teams facing for $3,000, a magnificent gaming PC, and of course, eternal glory of being the world champion. So, as expected, we see three zombies on the line of scrimmage there to get punched. We see the mummies in a protected formation where they're still contributing their strength, but not easy to blitz down unless you're the ogre, which we're not going to see happen.
The human team looks like they're about to set to receive, yeah? Unless I missed it.
That is correct. We have one ghoul sitting out on the bench, so even if things go disastrously, Silsei will still have at least one player capable of carrying the ball reasonably well.
I have to say, the human team with two rerolls, when they first started this World Cup, I just thought, what is this? Just two? Well, I just thought, well, the thrower's got to take leader eventually, right? But he never did. So
no, because shadowing was more important.
Yeah, because shadowing's more important, guys.
Then again,
oh man,
humans don't really need rerolls that badly. I mean, they've got sure hands, they've got pass, they've got catch, they've got plenty of block, they've got enough guard to make most stuff 2-die blocks. I think that's gonna be all right. Not that they need shadowing per se, but you know, at least he's got movement 7.
Humans though does have the 2 extra human linemen to come in, and that's actually kind of saved him, I guess, a little bit more often than not, because he has gotten a fair share of hits. But I think throughout this tournament, since he did play against a couple of Wood Elf teams in the early bits in the game, and then I believe Amazon team afterwards, didn't really need to have too many guys to come in, I think, unless it was the Orc team. But the Orc team in the last semifinal didn't really rough him up too badly. Just, I think, a couple of injuries, and that's it.
Yeah, aside from the Orcs, the tackle has been very, very useful for Ornan. I mean, Wood Elves, Amazons, and now Undead with 4 ghouls.
Yeah, we'll see how that's going to work out for him, because the 2 tackles, no mighty blow behind them, but probably doesn't need it with the armor 7 ghouls. And that's the thing with the Undead team, a very balanced team and a very good one to start off with if you're kind of new to Blood Bowl. But I mean, it's one of those things where they too have some small weaknesses, and the ghouls is definitely the one to watch out for if you are going to be playing against the Undead team. Whereas the human team, well, even though they are good at everything, they're just not great at any particular thing. And so that may also go against them as well.
Yeah, the jacks of all trades and the masters of none definitely applies most to the humans of all teams in Blood Bowl. Now, of course, Ornan does bring in Apothecary, who can bring back one of his players, ideally someone who gets badly hurt late in the first half or KO'd early in the second half, but you'll use it on what you can. And Silsei gets regen on all of his players except the ghouls, which is still 4 of them, so attrition, well, it's going to be flaky, but I would actually favor Ornan for out-bashing Silsei, if anything.
Well, that's saying a lot right there, because, I mean, he's only got 1 extra guard, and also the Undead team has 5 strength mummies, and so it'll take a lot of guard to bring down just one of those guys.
True, but they both have 2 Mighty Blow. Ornan has the piling on to back it up. He has the personnel to foul with a bit more, and yeah, I could definitely see that work. Ghouls getting targeted.
Well, yeah. Undead team is Eustace playing against the Mighty Blow and piling on, right? He played against the Claw Mighty Blow and piling on of RTSD in the last match. So this blitzer without the Claw, not a big deal.
Yeah, that wolf was removed very, very quickly. That was spectacular.
Very true.
I think he didn't make it past turn 1, actually, in the first half.
I don't think so either. Yeah, he got blitzed down, and then after that,
6 dice failed to knock down. Yep. All right. An extra reroll for the team that had only 2 rerolls, so that is very fortunate for Ornan. He did bring the fame, wound up not even needing it though.
Yeah, and that's another thing too to note with the way Ornan has built his team. Not only did he just get 2 rerolls, he got the extra human lineman and also the fan factor for the fame. So that right there is kind of what he was hoping for when he did do this build right here, so that he didn't have to purchase an extra reroll. He could just hope for the kickoffs to go well for him. And right there, now he's back to 3 rerolls square on the sides for the Undead and the human team. Ogre here. Let's see.
Nope.
His hit coming up soon.
Yeah, so far punching zombies isn't exactly the most spectacular thing. Oh, Squiggy is letting Ornan down a little bit to begin with. 3 dice from the ogre, but no knockdown.
Squiggy. That's all right.
But
let the shadowing player do his thing. See how much of an MVP Shadora is going to be. Or is it going to be Shadora?
Yeah, it's pretty fitting that Shadora is the shadowing player, absolutely.
I love that. This better work out for Ornan, because otherwise, analysts from here to tomorrow will watch in the later bits and they'll be like, what is this shadowing? Well, this is why he lost him the game right here. He didn't take anything that was fruitful, like leader or block on his thrower or something like that to help him out in this game.
Yeah, I still love it though. I mean, just the class of doing this tribute to the community is, it kind of reminds me of the PS4 logo we saw in the Invitational Cup.
Oh, you mean the World Cup Invitational? Yeah, in the onset. Yeah, I remember that. I love that. Shadowing.
Here comes the blitz with piling on, except he's probably not following. Still gets a stun at least, or is it a KO? It's a stun. He does follow up and immediately piles on. There we go.
I thought that the shadowing was on a catcher with the movement 8, that maybe it might be used for a little bit better, but it ended up being on the blitzer, so...
Movement 7 is not bad, and we do see a removal of the guard tackle white. That is big hit to kick off with. He knows that Silsei doesn't have a lot of bench, so that he can't afford to foul willy-nilly. And I wonder whether we'll see Silsei punish this and gang up on poor Ironmaster there and stick a boot in him.
Nice little removal there. Nice KO. Makes the human's job a whole lot easier, but with a couple of mummies on the pitch, I'm pretty sure that the Undead team may be able to answer. Of course, that's the normal, right? 1 removal there for the front line, for whoever's going to get the activation in the front, in the kickoff.
For all we know, Ironmaster might remove a zombie with his head next turn.
Yep. Well, all the what ifs. This is why we play Blood Bowl, boys.
Oh yeah, Holes finally managed to pick up the ball. In the semi-final, he failed the first 6 times, and Ornan wound up winning the semi-final without ever picking up the ball.
Look at that. It's like he went and got extra sticky tape for his hands. And there you go, guys. He knows how to pick up the ball.
Maybe this is someone else wearing a Holes mask.
That's what it is. Somebody get in there and replace Holes, and that's exactly what happened. So now the humans gonna still play off though. Of course, as I've said before, Undead still pretty dangerous, can definitely hurt the human team. Armor 8, not always the safest thing. I have to attest to that since I do play Dark Elves mainly, and so Armor 8 doesn't always hold up very well, especially against the Armor 9 and Mighty Blow. So let's see how Silsei wants to play it.
Well, there are there are 2 humans left in contact at the moment, but we see a mummy blitz against the catcher. Now, because the only tackle has been removed, the catchers are now a lot safer, and of course in Blood Bowl 2 they are Armor 8 as well. So these are suddenly pretty resilient players, as testified by the dodge saving him here. Tackle would have made short work of that. But this choice of Blitz does suggest that he is gearing up for a gang foul right there. And I guess that the prone zombie who's next to him might actually be the one doing the job, but that means that 2 anti-assists from the guard blitzers will have to be cancelled. So in order to make this foul happen, Silsei has to really, really commit to making full contact with Ornan's team here.
Yeah, he could still do it with the level 1 ghoul. He does have one extra one to come in, so
it wouldn't be the first time. And of course the zombie on our right flank can also be freed up with a block, so he might actually be the one to do the foul.
Yeah, I like that. And of course it is again a mighty blow and the piling on piece, which he does have some concern over, not as big as the werewolf, but it is definitely going to be a good piece to foul right here. And maybe this is what Ornan wants here. It doesn't necessarily need that piece, but would like to have him. And it's unlike the werewolf where the makeup of the team is so much different without him. Here,
this team is still definitely functional if it loses its main killer, and that was not the case for the necromantic at all. There we go. Zombie getting freed up, gets a knockdown in the process. Probably going to follow that up as well. Nope. Keeps the Lino busy. Fair enough. So we're probably going to see one more assist. And then a stomp.
Before you stand up a zombie first, why not? That's what the zombies are for, right? To get those blows to the head.
Alright, ref. Ref, are you paying attention? Ref! Ref!
He's wearing his glasses, contacts.
And a stomp. Ooh, right in the... Oh, that is brutal. Iron Master has removed 2 players with that one action because the ref spotted it and it was merely a stun. This means Silsei is down to 9 for this drive, and if the KO doesn't come back, he's actually down as well, down to 10 for the next one. That is part of the power of piling on. People want to get rid of him so much that they'll step on his head and get spotted by the referee. At least it wasn't a ghoul this time, but ouch. That has got to hurt for Silsei.
That's actually going to be a bit of a shift here because now it's steadily becoming more of an attrition game, and it's actually going to favor the humans. Normally, it's the humans that kind of get out attritioned by the undead team, but this time
we could even see a foul on that. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was going to say we could see a foul on the mummy on the left flank after a blitz, but with the ogre boneheading, that mummy is not going down at all, I believe.
Look at that, the undead team. Oh boy, he's gonna thank his lucky stars that the ogre didn't hit the zombies. But moreover, now the humans won't have the hit that may remove yet another person. So won't have.
I wouldn't say that this foul was a bad decision at all. By the way, it didn't work out, but I do think that if Ornan is going to pile on so greedily, then that increases the threat factor of Iron Master and prioritizes dealing with that threat even more. Sadly for Silsei, it didn't work out.
Yeah, actually the percentage of getting caught is actually less than the foul working out a little bit.
With this many assists, the foul has a pretty good chance of working. Of course, he does not have Dirty Player. When I was making my undead team, I actually kept 1 skeleton on the roster, just in case I might want to pick up Dirty Player later in the tournament. That, of course, does increase the value of the fouls. But
and
with
you had a huge undead bench too, right?
Yeah.
Unlike this team, who only had 1 guy to come in.
Exactly. The decision there was really picking bench over ghouls, which are vulnerable non-regen players. It does cost a lot of versatility, though. So definitely not a criticism-free decision overall. And there we go. Tackle getting value. Ghoul going down.
Nice. Oh, the blodge ghoul.
Wow.
It's an injury.
Wow.
The ghoul going out. Time. Undead.
I can't be sad about that. I've hunted these ghouls a lot without any success. So I'm kind of happy to see Ornan managing to take one out, but that means 3 removals in 2 turns, and 2 of the 3 positionals as well. The only tackler and a blodge ghoul out. This is looking very, very grim for Silsei. Of course, ghouls with no regen, no apothecary available, he isn't coming back.
Yep, and right there, just going to hit on that weakness that I was talking about in the beginning of the game. Those ghouls can fall, and I mean, if you guys are out there who doesn't really know too much about Blood Bowl or hasn't played that much, undead ghouls, make them your target, and those are the guys that will fall, and they can't get those regeneration, and those guys go out, then suddenly you have the advantage on the numbers on the pitch, and not only that, but that does remove some of the versatility as we are speaking to at the moment as well. So it's kind of a double whammy.
Now, of course, we're going to... the only good news for Silsei here is that this is happening on his defensive half, which the status quo would be Ornan scoring a touchdown. If this happens while you're on offense, then it could cost you even more. So Silsei isn't necessarily looking hopeless for, say, a 1-1 main time game, but this has got to hurt.
Yes, an undead team now needs to get some injuries if he wants to climb back into this first half. Otherwise, this will just be a very easy score for the human team. Of course, still status quo, but it is now down to, could be 9 players left, at the most 10 for the undead. They'll always be down in numbers to this human team if they don't start injuring some humans pretty quickly.
It also creates a big incentive for Ornan to start properly fouling, because he's still got his bench, and he knows that any trade is a value removal, whereas instead of just removing a bit of bench. So I definitely expect to see Ornan throw some more fouls here later in this drive.
Yeah, the undead team should get the blitz here. I think he's going to blitz every single time with the mummy if he can help it, and hopefully get the takedowns, because he hasn't been getting them in the first half as of yet. So far, so good for the humans. This is basically how he drew it up in his head at the middle of the night in his dreams.
Ooh, another 3-eye blitz on a catcher who doesn't have block, and another failure to knock down. Mummy's not doing good work. At least this time tackle wouldn't have helped either. Is he going to go to fully connect?
Wanting to get that darn catcher down, and both times on the blitz hasn't been able to produce anything but a push. This is just a little bit frustrating now if you are the undead team and you are behind at the moment. So not a fun time here. And the
we might well
has
see
to play a little bit aggressive.
We might well see a doubling down. The zombie next to the ogre is of course free because the ogre does not have tackle zones, being boneheaded. But since he is removing assists from the piling on player, it looks like he's not planning on making a huge gang foul, prioritizing the position he can get over just assists. He can still get 3 of them though.
Yes, and the undead team going to play a little bit more aggressive, and not only that, but maybe save the zombie from getting surfed. I don't know if there would have been a surf because it's just a zombie, but it was definitely on the table until the mummy came in there to kind of help out a little bit.
Well, pretty much still is.
Still is, but I think he's gonna. I think if he's basing like you see now, he's gonna bring some more help. This is the nice thing about playing the humans. So versatile. You can just go anywhere with it. Loads of movement allowance for your guys. You can go right, you can go left. Catchers, throwers. I mean, I've always said this before when people are like so down on the humans. I've said, look, they get the thrower, they get a couple of catchers with the ogre, and suddenly their team looks good. I can't stand it when I see a non-catcherless human team. I mean, you need these movement 8 pieces just to stay versatile and keep yourself in the game at times.
Well, in Blood Bowl 2, they're also pretty resilient because in other formats they are armor 7, although in the tabletop game they've been reduced in price to 60k team value. But I can definitely see someone playing catcherless or single catcher if they want. Now, Ornan has a choice to make. He can commit to surfing a zombie, which is not that great. Would cost him his blitz. That catcher is probably not blocking that mummy, so I think he might choose not to go for the surf at all. But we shall see in a moment.
I don't know. I think, in my opinion, Why not? Because it's just turn 3. He's going to continue to hold the ball, and he's no particular hurry to move the ball up the pitch, which he really should rather easily up 3 personnel, and he can cage up and have the steamroll right in front of him. No problem. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I
That's
do
just
think.
me, I guess.
Yeah, I do think the surf has value, mostly because there's not really much of a hurry for the humans.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a safe spot. They've got plenty of time to advance. They are faster, especially now that one of the ghouls is out.
Yeah.
But he gets knockdown dice instead, so no surf is happening. Then again, he hasn't used his blitz yet, so he can still take down that mummy if he wants, and advance with a lot of safety. The piling on player is very much stuck where he is, though. Might not even get up. Might try and remove another player with his head.
Yeah, it looks like with him continuing to base that mummy, he will blitz the mummy pretty soon.
Yeah. Get one guarder in there.
Yep, and then sure he might base up the white a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Take
ideally
one to the noggin.
Ideally, he'd use the ogre for that, but the ogre is stuck on a lone zombie. And that's actually very solid play. That zombie could have fouled the piling on player, but now by himself he's keeping the ogre away from the action. And I don't think Ornan wants to double back and switch to the left flank, not when he's got this nice punch on the mummy, potentially even a foul. So we expect the ogre to just throw a block at the end and do his thing over there with the zombie. Oh, Casher coming in.
With the undead being down and also with the injury to the ghoul, I don't even see any more fouls coming out from the undead whatsoever for the rest of the game, unless Get the Ref comes out for the kickoff. Oh man.
No need to foul. Straight up knockout on the mummy. That is harsh for Silsei. Of course, if Ornan scores on turn 8 or before, Silsei gets 2 chances to recover that mummy before the second half. But wow. Such good dice for Ornan. Block dice falling into place, armor dice falling into place, fouls going wrong against him. Ornan is riding this. He is doing awesomely.
And both of the KO personnel is going to be key pieces for the undead team. So if both of those KOs don't come back anytime soon, this is just an easy match for this human team. You can't hope for any better when you're playing Blood Bowl. Usually it's a bit of a struggle back and forth, but this is all humans all the way at the moment. But don't forget, guys, this is Blood Bowl. I have seen in the second half go all the other team's way, and then you just simply lose. So this is not over yet, but obviously, yes, humans are looking a whole lot better. And he is taking a lot of energy here from chat. I think that's what it really is. I think that's what it amounts to, Sage.
2 seconds left. Ogre makes a block just in time. Both down. Good value on the block skill. Another block there. Another knockdown. Taking all the time. And that just leaves the piling on dude.
Yeah.
I think Iron Master's probably staying down there. He doesn't want to get up and get punched by the mummy.
Take a break. You're fine. And as I've said, no foul is going to be coming out from the undeads any longer. They can't risk the 1 in 8.
Yeah, but aside from the mummy blocking, all he's really got is 2 ghouls. And there's a lot of humans to contend with. The zombie can't stay up without getting surfed, potentially. This is harsh. This drive is pretty much Ornan's, but the second half might well see Silsei make a strong comeback. 75% each on those 2 players. The guard white with tackle and the guard mummy with block. If he gets both back, he's up to 10 players for second half, playing on offense, land a few good punches, and we might well see this go to overtime.
Yeah, and he needs to get some removals pretty quickly, and he did base them up there to get hit there and blocked up, but maybe just with time pressure there that he followed up, or either that Ornan was like, you know what, go ahead and hit my level 1 lineman instead of allowing a blitz on one of my more key pieces. So it could have been one of either, and that's kind of what you get the result there. So KO, that is feeling good for Silsei, but I believe he's already lost his half. He's likely just going to try to get some blitzes off and try to get as many guys that are isolated based up so that he can get some blocks on those guys. and pretty much allow this touchdown by the end of the first half.
Now we might see the last mummy getting targeted here. Ornan has plenty of time. He has the numbers advantage. He can do pretty much what he wants with this drive, and that mummy following up positions him. I mean, there's guard in lots of places. I could see that mummy getting piled on even.
Well, humans at this point just going to advance their cage on the right side, and then after that, probably try to take care of his pieces coming back to the midfield. But at this point, Undead has to just play for the second half and hope for something more out of this half. Some more injuries, because that's the only thing that can save him now.
It is turn 3, and Silsei has given up the drive, running his ghouls off to safety. He wants to preserve as much as he can in order to hopefully have a team left for the second half.
Yeah, and of course, you just never know. I mean, don't give up, guys. You just never know. I have seen this go horribly wrong when you're up this much in advantage. So, man, Blood Bowl. Gotta hate/love it.
So we might see a relatively uneventful half from here, with Ornan's team hunting down what remains of Silsei's team until he runs in the ball on turn 8.
That's kind of why you see the ghouls there at the left side. He's keeping them far, far away from the rest of the human team. But likely the humans are probably going to detach their 2 tacklers and keep the cage up with the rest of the other guys so that he can probably try to get a blitz off on the ghoul by maybe the end.
Now that Silsei chose to run away, it means Ornan doesn't need to screen off the ball anymore. The players are so far away that he can just hide by himself with holes in the back and send all of his other players out hunting. So a kill shot on the mummy looks very, very, very likely. I don't like how the guarder took a... Well, he's got plenty of guarders. Doesn't really matter.
Plenty of guard here. Yeah, and the 2 key pieces for the Undead, the 2 guards themselves are down. So are we going to see a side cage here? What's going on?
He doesn't need a side cage. The thrower is doing fine by himself. Unless Silsei decides to pressure the ball, Ornan can use his entire team to hunt down the remaining players.
Yeah, that's true. And he does have the movement here. And so even if the Undead decides to go back and try to get to the ball carrier, the human team should be able to recover and get back there and help out the ball carrier and keep him safe.
Ogre is probably going to keep the white busy as well. So Ornan, despite being run away from, still has a pretty good chance of hunting down what remains of Silsei's team. Here
look,
we
shadowing,
go.
it's doing a thing, right? I mean, it's holding back the mummy and the zombie.
More importantly, Iron Master gets to pile on a mummy now, unless it gets cast. I think he would even pile on a KO at this point, because he knows that Silsei gets 2 chances to get them back anyway. Whereas if there's a cast, he only gets 1 shot at regen.
I don't know. KOs is pretty strong in this format, right? No APO for the Undead team, so...
No, but the drive's already done, and he would get 2 KO rolls. But the piling on is too weak. An 8 into an 8, not good enough.
Yeah, and we actually saw that this piling on and Mighty Blow player here didn't really do much against the Orcs, but today got 1 injury and a little bit better than what he has done in the last game, so working out. There's the hits here. Ogre. Humans so dominant in this first half. I mean, what a difference. This is why, in the end, the bash play of Blood Bowl really works in your favor, because you remove a few pieces here or there, and suddenly it's just so much easier. Look how easy it is. Just simply being up 3 guys, 4 guys now, actually, so...
Yeah, and the humans are a bash team at heart, and Ornan has played them as such because he could, because he was facing mostly the Armor 7s, mostly the dodge teams, and here we go. He's going all in on this. Now, I expect we'll see Silsei doubling back, trying to get some pressure on that ball, since that's also the direction to run away to anyway. But yeah, this is looking very, very harsh.
Yeah. But at least either forcing the blitz out on the tackle guard or forcing the dodge aways without the dodge skills. So either way, this is going to be a tough shot. And he's going to stand up in the center, not afraid of anything, surrounded by humans, but whatever.
Could even see him blitz the ogre.
There's the dodge away, the 3+, the blitz. Oh man, how many push die are we going to see?
Yeah, still not getting the knockdowns either, but at least he's got the tackle off of his ghouls. One is completely free, the other can dodge out or throw a punch, I guess, but he doesn't want to stay there.
He's going to dodge away with dodge.
Now, if this situation would lead to Ornan being pushed to score early, it might actually wind up working to Silsei's advantage. But to do that, he needs to put a lot of pressure on. Those ghouls need to run their legs out. And that leaves the mummy completely isolated. And the thrower could even just walk back again into a safe cage halfway down the field because he's still not in any hurry. 4 turns is a lot for humans.
Yeah, and this is where running your players away, they're trying to keep them safe. It works out. I've actually seen, a pretty well-known coach in Aryan do this. He just kind of gets his wood elves back, but still just in range. And then when you think it's over, he pounces on you and takes the ball away.
Yeah, he also does not stall, period.
Yeah, he doesn't stall. His foot's always on the gas, right? So.
Yeah. So, humans running forward to tag the ghouls has wound up with the ghouls doubling back, which is to be expected. And, hey, there's a knockdown. Oh, wait, no, it's a catcher. Never mind. Still no knockdown. He would have taken the both down here gladly, I think.
Yeah, if that would happen. But just going to be a push away and no up or that. And that's really bad here.
Yeah,
would have loved to take him down.
As Herringzord, great caster as well, is saying in chat, Ornan does need to roll some dice to get this safe, but those are dice that he kind of wants to roll anyway. This catcher is free to protect it. After the blitz on the mummy, the other blitzer's probably free as well. These guys can move around, so he's not in trouble or anything. But he is probably going to move backwards in order to get his thrower back to safety. Because if he does anything else first and it meets with disaster, then suddenly the game could turn on a dime.
This is why, for me, the human team, that's why I was like saying, oh, maybe he's going to put a side cage up. Because I always like to have an escort for my guys. And when the guy doubles back like this, I don't want to end up rolling dice to do anything. So the humans still should be able to put a screen up and still should be able to base those ghouls. But, I mean, the
he's fine.
There. Yeah, I mean,
he's fine.
But it's just, I always like keeping my ball carrier safe. I just love having my ball safe. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Now, choosing to do it in this order does mean that he can't finish the last square until he's done the blitz. But he is going to get into that cage before attempting the blitz, I believe. There we go.
You guys know I couldn't go too long without a balls joke. Come on.
And now, ooh, the mummy for once does not go down. I think I would have considered a reroll here. But a push is enough to get the guard tackler to the missing corner of the cage. And then he's still got 2 dice on the zombie and another 2 die if he wants.
Nah, I think definitely keeping it safe here. You have the touchdown. Don't want to leave it up to Nuffle, 1 at 36, where you're going to fail that roll. So keep your ball carrier safe and then do those rolls.
Ooh, here's the double skulls, but the reroll is fine.
The skulls. And
Zombie is asleep for a turn. Are we going to see a half die block? I mean, protecting that guard is not bad. No, we see a dodge and it fails. Shadora.
Gonna fail. He didn't want to shadow anyone, guys. He didn't want to shadow Mummy. What's going on? Come on. Well, I guess he's got to keep him safe, right? I mean, he's the he's the marquee piece. Can't believe this is one of those games where Armor 9 for the Mummy, the KO, didn't really work out, but Undead team still Armor 8 themselves, right? The zombie and the and the white, but the ghouls are armor 7, so
Yeah, and with 2 tacklers at the front targeting the ghouls, there is not a lot Silsei can do here. His mummy can try and punch a catcher again. He gets 3 dice out of the box, which is fine, but catcher's armor 8 dodge, not as fragile as you might intuitively think. Or at least I would, because I've played a lot of armor 7 catchers.
armor 7 catchers, they're so bad in comparison to other catchers. I mean, but at least now armor 8 a little bit better.
Now, as someone in chat is commenting, it would definitely be great if we saw a little bit more action like we did in the semifinals. Both semifinals were very, very spectacular matches. Lovely to cast, lovely to watch. Oh, the catcher does it again. Zwark is not impressed with this mummy.
Wow! 3 times, 3 die blocks, and nada.
No both downs, no pows.
How do you say nothing in French?
Oh, this is brutal. More pushes. Silsei is not getting the block dice. Oh, thank you, Drunken Dwarves.
Humans seemingly getting everything in this first half, and the Undead is just getting pooped on right now by Nuffle. I mean, that's all you can really say at this point. I mean, you keep rolling all this push die, and eventually you're just gonna say, forget it. Might give up.
Yeah, a little surprising that there was no reroll on the 3 die against the catcher, considering he's got 3 rerolls, 3 turns after this, and there's not a lot he can do with this drive anyway. Getting a good player out is about the best you can hope for at this point. Wow. Miracles happen.
That's a really good point. He probably should have just rerolled that. Just use the rerolls on these black dice to get down some ordinary humans that are still present on the pitch.
Now, of course, this being Blood Bowl, people do come back from very, very precarious situations. I mean, we've seen 6+ dodge, half die, double pows happen. So all things are still possible in this game. We might see some late drive desperation play work out from Silsei, and suddenly we're going into second half with a 0-0 situation. Ornan does get the both downs that Silsei did not, but at least there's no armor break this time. That ghoul is okay for now.
Yeah, I would like to be a riot at the end of the first half too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would like to see more fouls from the humans, because they've still got 12 or 13 players, probably 13 with a 75% KO chance. So he's got to leverage that bench to his best chance, I think.
Good stuff here. He's going to get that blitz off, and not only that, likely to do a foul in the next bit. Why not, right? I mean, even if he gets fouled out, he's got plenty of linemen, and he's still up in numbers. I mean, this is just a dream game when you're playing Blood Bowl, where you can just do basically anything, and he's still going to score it, and rather easily. Okay. Gotta love it when the game pretty much plays it on its own.
Yeah, I bet Silsei is kind of fuming right now.
Yeah, I mean, with all of his experience, you gotta think how much can he really keep it together and keep that frustration down in the pits of his belly instead of letting it shine out in his game, right? I mean, how many times have that really made good coaches become just average coaches due to their, rage?
I do remember a certain dwarf coach in the previous World Cup who let the rage get the better of him. So yes, that does happen every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. And Blood Bowl is definitely one of those games, again, where it's just not only about skill and not only about luck, but it's about the psychology, right? I mean, it's about keeping it together as much as possible and trying to win the game.
1 assist foul, I believe. But an 8 is good enough. A 7, however, is not. If those dice had been the other way around, the ghoul would be KO'd as well.
Nicely done, humans. I mean, this first half, Looking so good, humans.
Everyone but the mummy is trapped now. The guards blocking those two players. Tackle on the ghoul. The best he can get out is a half-die blitz or a 4+3+ dodge out. This is very, very painful. Does get the skill reroll on the 3+ if he wants, but we'll need to do the 4+ out of pocket. Then again,
this is where doubling back like this kind of bites you a little bit. So sure, you can maybe pressure the ball carrier, but humans again, so much quick movement allowance. They can get back. As you can see, thrower comes back to the center and gets caged up, and now suddenly the ghouls are in trouble.
Thing is, he had to go somewhere. The humans were running after him, and doubling back was also the best way to get away from the chasing humans, but they're just too fast. They're usually they outrun the really slow teams, but get bashed by them. And they outbash the fast teams, but get outrun by them, because they're somewhere in the middle. In this case, the humans just take their position as the hard bashers, and they outspeed their opponents, and that is just very, very difficult to deal with for the undead. I mean, if you're dwarves, you expect to be outrun by them. If you're wood elves, you expect to be outbashed by them. But Ornan is just doing both.
Well, I guess that's why the human meta is so strong in this competition, huh?
Well, yeah, that's of course also the rule set. Mummy desperately trying to get relevant again, still rolling pow pushes, but at least this time it's against a lineman who does not have dodge.
And I think the earlier blitzes from the mummy probably should have came on lineman instead, but without any skills to just get the removals out and really just get your morale up. I mean, that's really key in Blood Bowl as well. Is good. And not just try to risk it on a dodge catcher, even though both down die were good as well. Just
three dice with block against the catcher is a good punch to throw. I mean, if he removes the lineman, there's bench. Ornan's still fine. If he removes a guard catcher, suddenly the game shifts. So, and especially if you think you're not going to win the drive anyway, then that is definitely the right thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. It just, of course, hindsight is 2020, right? So,
yeah,
it's just one of those things where if it would have gotten the block died, then would have got him down. It would have been so much easier. But unfortunately, even the defender stumble is not good enough, and that's what he's been getting all this game.
The ghoul was still well within reach of the ball carrier, but Ornan is just screening that off, occupying all the squares with players. That way the ghoul cannot reach. There's literally one square there that he can't. And we're going to see probably a massive gang foul on that ghoul. Question is, where are we going to see the blitz?
At this point, I think he's concentrating on this foul coming up.
Last reroll is gone. Good thing he is very, very, very safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The white could still mark the ball carrier from where we are now. And he does not have a reroll, so that is something to take into consideration. Can be chain pushed away though.
The blitz is still on for the humans. So.
Yep. And he spotted it as well. This is why Iron Master is occupying the square that the white could reach.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Oh, that was not the last reroll. That's fine. For a moment I thought he'd already used it, but the counter had already run down.
There's the hit here and the blitz. Not gonna forgo any of that stuff. And we'll keep the white occupied as well. And another armor break, why not?
Yeah, I would have expected him to move the white back, but this works as well. I mean, that white is not going to be any problem. And if he tries, it has a better chance of removing the white than threatening the ball. Ooh, well, that's fair. I'd say that Ornan was about due a failure like that.
Haha! That's one for the Undead team. Got one, guys.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can actually still... Wait.
Is there any catch here? I don't really see it so easily. And if he does it, it'd be some awful one. So if I was the Undead team, I would just continue to just get the blitz here with my mummy and continue with trying to get down some human guys and allow this touchdown by the end. And go into the half 1-0, or actually go to the end of the half and hope for a riot, and then worst come to worst, 1-0.
Yeah, of course, losing that lineman doesn't really hurt Ornan at all, unless he suddenly suffers huge losses in turn 8 or something.
Blitz here, and the
That's
blow
definitely
fast,
getting
so it's
rerolled.
gonna Rerolled that. Ouch. Well, he's got what, 3 rerolls, so
Yeah,
it's
and
about time he used one.
he's got a turn and a half left.
Too bad we can't just spam rerolls in Blood Bowl where, okay, I want to use a reroll. Oh no, more skulls. Oh, okay, reroll again. And when I first started playing Blood Bowl, I actually thought it was like that.
I think my replay froze because this is taking a little bit too long, so I'm gonna head right back into it. Please tell us what is happening.
Yeah, it did freeze for you. So right now, just some movement here from the Undead team as they are tucking away the ghoul after the blitz. Mummy comes over to help put up a screen for said ghoul. White dodges away, but misses the dodge, and of course using the reroll already. But hey, shadowing failure, guys! Oh no! Shadowing fails.
Oh, shadowing letting us down? That is so
Shadora, you
sad.
had one job, was to stop that shadow. Or to shadow that white. Well, maybe he doesn't shadow when the white fails the dodge, I suppose. Well, no, you didn't miss any shadowing because he failed the shadow. But the white missed the dodge anyway, so you're good.
So we missed the
Turning
failed
now.
shadowing attempt.
And yeah, the humans are going to score it after a big blitz on the mummy.
There we go. We are back.
Or the ghoul actually did die.
That's a zombie?
Yeah, blitz the zombie instead for the 3-die for the safe blitz.
Yeah,
And we'll
fair
end up
enough.
scoring it 1-0. Ornan, an easy first half, but as we have seen in Blood Bowl, and many of us know, it is definitely not over. Silsei needs to keep it together, keep that rage in check, because we never know. White comes back, Mummy still stays out.
Much as I like seeing Ornan succeed, I really hope that Silsei gets both of his positionals back for the second half. The Mummy still has a 50-50 chance at recovery after this turn 8. Of course, a riot could still be very, very influential, and, you know, removing 3 human linemen this turn, I guess, could also do a thing. But if he only casts 1, then it's effectively no damage whatsoever. That's not true. Only if Bison comes back.
Mummy is going to have yet another 50% chance after this 8th round. And at this point, though, Undead team hoping for a riot so that he can prove the 2-turn touchdown. But if you're hoping for a riot to help you in this game, it's never really going to come into fruition. Or will it? Well, we'll see now. Blood Bowl. I love it. / hate it.
So we could, of course, see Silsei trying for a desperate 1-turn touchdown option. I would not expect that to work, but I guess he could try. That would come at the expense of trying to deal damage, but then again, you're only punching human linemen anyway. He could also just set up for the riot and throw some punches, if it doesn't happen. Let's switch perspectives here, because we like to look from the receiving side of the pitch.
Yes, please. And there we go, the Mummy in the front line, hoping to take down yet another lineman. If we can get an injury here on the line of scrimmage, that would be so good, because then humans might be sweating it out just a little bit more.
Shadora, the Shadower! Oh, nearly a stun. Who threw that? Who threw that? Gotta be one of them
Snake Eyes.
Frenchmen, wasn't it?
This might be the start of something here. It's the French crowd taking down the
Ooh,
Shadora.
Steak Mittens is dead! This also
Yes,
means,
the big
hey,
hit.
he has to appo this, because if he doesn't, that player becomes a zombie on the Undead team. So we see an
That's
appo
right.
on a human lineman.
There we go. So zombie won't be created because the apple was used on the death injury. But now no more apple on the pitch. And as I've said, needed that injuries to come out, and it is. So this could be the turn of the tide. Wow. Luckily, he didn't get 1 in 36 there and re-roll the death injury, because that would have given an extra zombie on the pitch for the Undead team, and they would have had 11, but they're still going to be stuck with at the most 10. But right now, it's still going to be 9 on the pitch.
Yeah, if that mummy if that mummy does not come back, then this looks very, very grim for Silsei, zombie or not.
There's the defender stumbles, and I don't know if we're going to see a foul. I don't expect to.
Yeah, losing the apothecary late in the first half just means you don't get a KO back unless it goes to overtime. I don't think that's too harmful.
And indeed, 1-0, but the mummy continues to stay out.
That is very, very painful. Ornan's chances just went up by a lot. The 25% happened. The mummy does not awaken.
That is really bad. And not only that, 9 on the pitch, as we've said, for the Undead team. Humans, KO still doesn't come back, but he had 2 guys to come in from the bench. So 11 players on the pitch for the human team, and both of those guys were level 1 linemen, so no worse for wear. Humans are ready to get the big win by the end.
All Ornan lost was his bench and his Apo, so he's still got a full strength squad, and he's facing sorely diminished Undead, missing their mummy for this drive, missing their ghoul for the rest of the game, and the blodge one at that. The Undead are in very, very deep trouble. They could try for a quick score just to get their mummy back, but then the humans only need to score on their own drive to get the win in regulation time. The alternative, trying to stall it out with a 9-player squad. Oof, I'd hate to be in Silsei's shoes right now.
Yeah. Thankfully, the Apo did work out for the human team, because not only saved the zombie, but also it did reconvert it back to a no badly injured. And of course, that brings your guy back for the play. So
without that Apo, it would have been 10 versus 10. Exactly.
Yeah, it would have been 10 on 10, yeah. But now it's going to be the Undead team down to 9, 11 on 9. Being down 2 on offense, not as bad. I mean, it's still going to be tough for you, but
if there were 2 zombies, it would be okay. But 2 important positionals, harsh. Very, very, very harsh.
Definitely. But it's still not out of the possibility for the Undead team to hold the ball, get some injuries himself, and turn this one right around. So this is definitely not out of reach, but very tough for the Undead team at this point.
Yeah, Ornan, having already scored, having good hopes for his defense, is now willing to sacrifice Holes, the player who let him down so much last game.
Looking back at this World Cup here, the thing I missed most about it is a death roller on the pitch. That's what I want to see in the finals, and I didn't get it.
I'd be happy with a successful shadowing at some point.
I know, yeah, that would be nice.
So, Blodge go in the back to do the pickup. That makes a lot of sense. Does mean that the 2 ghouls at the front are still going to be very exposed. Not enough protection for them. And the tacklers are going to have a field day with those 2 ghouls.
At least he's not going to be facing against a tackle mighty blow. They're just tackles with no mighty blow, but boy, they've been working out.
Yeah. Ornan is not going to go completely berserk on the fouls, but if he gets a good one on one of those ghouls, I could very easily see a lineman step on them. Provided that the linemen survive turn 9. Because Silsei is going to do his best to punch them to oblivion, but only 1 mighty blow because the mummy is still sleeping.
Yeah, at this point, if I do a foul, it would definitely be just on a key piece. And I wouldn't do it on a a level 1 ghoul for sure. I mean, a level 1... Well, a level 1 ghoul and a level 1 zombie. I will wait for the key pieces. One of the blodge ghouls. Or the last one there.
Yeah, but you're not going to get him. He's holding the ball.
Oh, I get him. I get him. I jump right on him.
All right.
Ornan. Will he be
The
able to have
blitz!
defense?
Oh,
Yes!
wow. Everything is coming up, Ornan. Oh,
I can't believe this.
whoa.
A blitz on the kickoff. That will give the humans a very aggressive stance and put this Undead team at the back foot where he just could not afford to give that away. And this is horrible now. Undead.
The ball is very, very deep. It is in a spot where it has a 3 out of 8 chance of going out on the bounce. But this is very, very exposed. Repositioning to block the line of scrimmage. Potentially removing the guard tackle white on the first blitz again with the piling on guy. Putting pressure forward. Keeping enough tackle back probably so that the ghouls can't just do some magic and run past. Oh, wow. Poor, poor Silsei. I guess we can call this a dicing at this point? Ouch, ouch, ouch.
At this point, when you are playing this Undead team, you have to just try to keep it together. But unfortunately, this does dictate that you have to pretty much run down the pitch. You're probably going to have to play potato and go down and get the touchdown pretty quickly. Man, this is just so horrible. It's going to take just about all the moves now. If the ball stays in bounds as well, then the ghoul just will be able to get there to pick it up, and that's it. And he's going to be faced in pressure with loads of humans halfway down the pitch already. So this is going to be really bad. And of course, the ghouls in the midfield, they're so close to the line. You're going to get based up.
Yeah, instead of blitzing the tackle guarder, he decided to just stick the ogre on him to keep that side busy. And mark up the ghoul, who with tackle and a backup, putting pressure on the backfield and making it next to impossible for Silsei to cage up.
I really like this here. Humans just going to keep it strong, keep it solid, just tie up everyone and make it to where the Undead has basically nowhere to go.
This does mean that Ornan has committed both of his tacklers to a single side, and the ball might still pop out. If it does, 3 out of 8 chance, then there might be room for a very, very scary potato play down the left flank for Silsei. Yes, it does go out. Will we see the ball go to the forward ghoul going all in, or will he try and keep it safe in the back? Very, very high risk.
Defining moment.
Yeah.
Defining moment. Silsei's thinking about it. Forward or back ghoul?
Yeah, he is going for the forward ghoul. He's going to run down the left flank away from the 2 tacklers. I do think Ornan overcommitted a little bit here. If the ball hadn't been at risk of going out, I think this would have been a great play. But knowing that there was a 3 in 8 chance of the ball popping out there, I think Ornan could have done better to keep one of the tacklers back.
Like at this point, when Nuffle is smiling on you and blessing your babies and doing, the rites to your passage, then you can basically do whatever you want.
So the mummy gets value on the block, however, does not get the guard assist into place for further blocks down there, which means that white cannot do it himself, but he can still be freed. I'm not sure how he's going to proceed here. Will he go full ham, running off the pitch, hoping to escape the tacklers for a quick score? Now, this tackler, while far back, does of course have movement 7 and the ability to reach the sideline with 2 GFIs, so he's not exactly safe just yet.
He may have to just blitz through that the thrower there on the left side, because, he's just in the way. You don't want to do a 4+ dodge, so I think the blitz on the thrower, incoming, and then a side cage where he's going to have to dodge away the white.
Unless he tries to 1-die through the ogre. That's also an option. That would actually leave him, because right now he's got a 2-die on the zombie, follows that up, and then a blitz sees a 1 die on the ogre, and that means he's got 2 players backing him up if he runs forward, with the ghoul dodging out without dodge reroll as backup. If this blitz is good, he's got a forward advance with the potential for even a sideline cage.
Well, here we go. There's the
going
blitz.
for going for the thrower, going for the slower play, which does give the humans some time to get back here. But this is definitely the more conservative option, which means he believes in his chances to make this a real drive.
And I think I like that because, you know, the potato play won't work, I believe. I mean, the humans too quick. They'll be able to catch that ghoul, I think. Well,
that
never
potato
mind.
play?
I take it back, guys. He's going potato, guys.
Yeah, but he's still very much in range of that tackler, which means that the guard tackle white is going to have to dodge out to get in the way there. This is still very scary.
Of course, the white's going to have to dodge away himself to get some support.
Yeah,
And
he's
he
doing good,
plus.
though. He
Good
is
stuff.
doing great.
We do the GFI. No other support can help out, though, so this could be a very easy second half for the humans if they are able to get this blitz down and stop that ball from running.
All right, here comes the ghoul, backing the situation up as well. Still got some GFIs in him. No reroll used yet. So Silsei is looking good to at least get, if not safe, somewhere that might help. Now, there is an easy guard assist. There is the ability to still blitz that ghoul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. If the zombie goes down to Iron Master here, the piling on blitzer, then Ziazeta, the guard tackler, can still reach that ghoul. And of course the guard backup is easy to arrange in the form of Zwark. So chances are that we're still seeing a punch on there. But I would have liked to see Ornan keep one of the tacklers a little bit further back, just in case of the ball going out and being pushed forward as it has been done.
Yeah. I don't blame the humans for getting into this position, of course, because the blitz affording the aggressive play, and of course now the touchdown, if it's going to get scored, then it'll give the humans so much time in the second half to get his own score, and he's up so much in numbers, so this is going to be still an easy hold for him.
Reroll used, and the zombie is still not down. This is huge. This might be just the break that Silsei needed. There is still another chance to knock the zombie down with Shadora here, but the GFIs to knock down that ghoul are suddenly looking very scary after that double skull.
Oh man, that does make it a little bit more difficult, but still gonna be... I mean, even if the Undead scores it, you're gonna give the humans so much time here, but at least I guess the Undead team did manage to score it and does make it look a little bit better on the score sheet.
I do want to see Spicosaurus running back here, making sure that he's got tackles somewhere in the back in case the next thing fails as well.
You know, if anything, we want to see Shadora, the shadowing player, just mark that ball carrier up and then...
No, Shadora is blocking. Shadora is definitely blocking here.
Yeah, but, you know, it just would be so funny, I think.
So, I guess the lineman goes and keeps the guard tackle white busy. Whew, that double skulls. Yeah, I do think that Ornan overcommitted on the blitz, getting both tacklers to where they were. And this might just be making the difference now.
So far, though, yeah, he's going to move the tackle, and that's basically pressures the touchdown. So, if anything, the Undead team will have to score it if this blitz goes really awry.
At least a push is enough here to free up the tackle.
So will get the
two
GFIs.
Two GFIs for a 2-die blitz with block and tackle on that goal. Oh, so scary. Lineman still hasn't acted. Oh, he doesn't make the blitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I like that. Don't leave the chance, and even if the Undead scores it, not tremendous deal. And plus, even after the blitz, should be a push, right? So.
Oh, he gets the pow with the lineman. Wow. Wow. Oh, and the ghoul is stunned too.
When Nuffle is just handing you the game, you just go ahead and take it. And there you go.
And the catcher caught it too. Wow. I don't think he's activating that ogre. Well, he could. I mean, get on the... Nope. He tried. The ogre deactivated instead. Squiggy not doing great there, but ouch. And the guard in place helps as well. Can't get dice on that catcher without first blitzing the guard away. Oof.
Well, this could still be a 2-die block here on... Actually, a 1-die block, isn't it? 1-die block against the catcher with the ball, and I think that's the only play here is to blitz with the white on the 1-die. If you can somehow get somebody over there for help, the white might try to just dodge away here and then 3+3+ and get around for the 2-die blitz.
I don't think we're going to see a 2-die on the ball. I think we're going to see a 1-die on the ball after removing an assist and shoving the guard in there.
Yeah, it's too.
Not sure whether he'll make
dodge.
Yeah, not sure whether he'll make the blitz 2 dice or 1 die though.
Oh boy, decisions. Well, the mummy could actually take down the lineman there, and then after that, yes, the zombie could have another 2-die block after the down die, but unfortunately, just a push. More pushes. Still gonna have a 2-die block here though for the zombie.
Yeah, but he needed a knockdown here in order to get the last zombie down to that flank.
Yeah, would have been lovely to get him down, but this dice here hates Silsei right now, and anyone that's French at the moment. If you're French and you're playing Blood Bowl right now, you're probably not having a good time.
Yeah. Nathias already told us that he was super excited to see a French coach in the grand final. Oh,
here's the blitz. Wow, he's gonna.
Oh, of course he's got the guard, so it's already a 2-die before even doing this. So now he's got a 1-die. No, that's already 2 dice because it's a catcher. So this is kind of okay-ish, I guess. Yeah, my bad for calling that. Catcher strength 2. I knew that. So 2-die on the ball with tackle, and then the white is basically the only option for retrieval, and he still needs to dodge.
The bad dice there.
He still
use
needs
the bad die first.
Yeah. Most likely the white will have to dodge twice to even get to the ball, but at least it goes down. Finally a pow push. What? It's tackle!
What?
He thought he didn't have tackle. Oh, wow.
No.
Silsei making the mistake of the century. Oh, he's gonna hate himself for this.
Oh, the mental error. Oh, no.
He's been rolling pow pushes with his mummy so often. He saw them and thought, this is a failure.
No.
Poor Silsei. He's going to go... Oh, he's going to look back at this moment.
Mental error. And I've done this before myself, okay? I mean, I've done things where I should have done, where it was obvious to do this, but then I just, maybe on a 2 red die block when they make on me, and I go, oh, okay, I choose the POW. But no, wait, I should choose the skull. Oh, no.
What a way to lose the grand final. Oh, that is just utterly brutal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Silsei is going to look at turn 10 and just...
Not like this. Not like this. Yeah. I really think that it's the constant failures of the mummies to knock down the catchers that made him forget. Oh.
It's just one of those things where it's psychology. It's part psychology in the game where, the mummy had been doing 3-die blocks, 3-die blitzes on catchers to no avail. Defender stumbles all the way, and then he was so used to seeing it happen on those catchers, he just re-rolled it by sheer inertia. Oh man.
I mean, there is a lot more pressure on these games than on a normal game of Blood Bowl. And we've all made silly mistakes like that, but for it to have it happen at such a crucial time, he's got to be banging his head on his desk right now.
Tell you what, he's gonna take that $1,500 and he's gonna take a big long vacation because this is just this is just gonna be one of those things where it's gonna make you stop playing Blood Bowl for quite a few months.
I can really feel his pain right now.
Yeah, we've all done this too. I mean, we've all done this, and we definitely can feel nothing but sorrow here for.
So, a question from chat about the prizes. Well, let me tell you, the winner, which looks there's a double skull from Squiggy. The winner of the Blood Bowl 2 World Cup takes home $3,000 as well as a magnificent gaming PC sponsored by Asus Republic of Gamers. The losing finalist, which at the moment looks to be Silsei, still takes home $1,500 as well as a almost as great gaming PC. So this is definitely very, very high stakes Blood Bowl. And of course, the glory of being the world champion is nothing to be scoffed at either. Now,
that leaves the catcher a little bit exposed here, so perhaps Silsei might have some glimmer of hope. It is a small one, but not a bad one, so not completely out of it. He does have a blitz here.
The ghoul can still, the ghoul can still get 2 dice with block on the catcher, and depending on where the ball went out, depending on where the ball bounces, there might be a shot. But his tackler is, of course, very, very far away and unable to do much about this.
A little bit too bad there, but at least he still has a 1-die, actually 2-die blitz with the ghoul after the 2-die block coming up from the zombie in the center there to open things up. So
indeed, the zombie that was just freed up marks the piling on blitzer to make sure that he does not anti-assist a blitz on the ball, and I do expect we'll see that ghoul. Oh, what? Why that block first? This block without blood skill first was ill-advised, I would say. There was no real call to do that before the blitz on the ball. And those both down dice would have done just fine for the actual sack, although he does need a 3+ dodge first. We're going to see some players stand up. Doesn't want to take too many excessive risks.
Actually, the zombie that it had to make that 2-die block there to open things up for the ghoul.
No, because the blodge ghoul can do it. He's got block as well.
Oh, coming around the
and dodge. Yeah,
I would like him for the ball retrieval.
Sorry about the noise, folks. Here we go. We have the blitz. But the second dodge fails. And that is it, folks. As of this moment, it is about as over as it's going to get. I mean, it's still Blood Bowl. Miracles can happen, but Ornan doesn't even have to score at this point. And once he does, he is in a 2-0 lead. With Silsei struggling to keep up. And with that ghoul down, the chance of actually putting pressure on the score is very, very limited as well. We might well see that ghoul getting fouled even, maybe.
Yeah, probably. But this is just about over. The humans should be able to stall it out for at least 3-4 more turns.
White could get surfed here.
Pretty much end it. Yeah, he could get surfed there.
Pounds the ghoul as well. Yeah.
Wow, this is just about, Turn 10 is over.
Another stun makes the pressure even harder to get going.
Yeah, when you're playing this match, you want to be where the humans are at the moment and not how the undeads are being treated at the moment. But yes, I mean, we've seen this all plenty of times here as a Blood Bowl coach. Just a game in which it was just an uphill battle from the start, and made worse by the dice, where too many things happen against you. The blitz on defense, absolutely nothing you can do. All the skill in the world won't save you now. It just really comes down to Nuffle bringing it back for the humans. But at this point, even if Nuffles the hell out of the humans, I don't even think the Undead team has a chance at this point.
No, Silsei had one last chance remaining to him, and he threw it away by choosing to reroll when he got the pow push, when he got the tackle punch on the ball carrier, and that really defined the end for him.
I was like, yes, no! Oh, God. Reroll. The reroll. Oh, you know Silsei's got to be kicking himself. Man,
Yeah,
I'd be kicking
you can still
myself.
put some pressure on, so Ornan might be tempted to score in 12 instead of 13 or 14, but realistically, getting 2 touchdowns on defense in 4 turns for Silsei, it's not happening. If he gets 2 blitzes, I guess. But yeah. Oh, that misclick, or rather, well, we don't. Yeah, let's assume it was a decision that was misinformed. Ouch. What a tragic moment.
Absolutely. There's just nothing more you could say about this game except for the mental error at the end and just everything leading up to it. I mean, at least now
yeah.
the Undead team can take it easy and just get these blocks off and open things up and pressure the score.
Putting the pressure on is very sensible here, of course. If Ornan cannot stall safely, then he probably will not stall at all. And it looks like that's going to be difficult to do. This is why I would have liked to see more guys keeping the ghoul busy and fewer focusing on the back. Because the ghoul is really the only player who could pressure the stall. And Ornan could have done more to prevent that, but really, at this point, it doesn't matter that much.
It doesn't.
Ornan could start playing like a noob.
Oh no!
Sure. While we're at it,
regeneration failed too as well.
Adding fatality to injury.
You know, I know there was only 5 concedes are allowed in the Champions Ladder, but this is one of those games where I understand.
Skull into 6-5, 6-6, 6-7. Wow. And then regen fail. All the wrong dice at the wrong moment.
Wow. Just wanting to get the 1-die block, which should have been good. Got 1 in 6, but loads of 6s on the
tackler
dice.
can still catch the ghoul from here as well. That's a GFI though. Do you risk that GFI at this point?
No, I wouldn't concede the match either, but I'm just saying, I understand.
Splush! Another one bites the dust.
I'm not saying to go and concede, guys, but I'm just saying I understand.
Honestly, Ornan could use his next turn to pass the ball to Silsei's ghoul, and he would still win. That's the state that the game is in now. Oh, wow. He's just going to run it in now, though.
Yeah, he's just going to run it in. After that blitz there done by the tackle and guard, he's running it in. Not after the piling on muddy blow on the zombie, but you know. Heck, if I was Ornan right now, I would test the waters. I would be like, hey, you know what? I'm doing a 2 red die black on this mummy, and I'm gonna get it, guys. That's how much Nuffle loves me right now. He is cuddling me in bed, taking me into his arms.
Double skulls.
Giving me the once over. He's not just giving me the reach around. He is giving me everything.
So, another KO, and then the touchdown. Ornan is out of rerolls, but he doesn't need them. He is riding this high, scoring 2-0 ahead, having a team, which is more than we can say for the poor Undead. At least they get both KOs back, but it's not going to be enough.
Wow, both of the KOs come back, and that's kind of nice for him. But of course, Blood Bowl, you just never know. There could be a miracle here on this World Cup. But oh man,
Yeah, there are two great tragedies in this game. One was Silsei's mistake, choosing to reroll the POW push. The other is that Shadora does not get to shadow anything, because he failed his KO roll.
Shadora, we gave you shadowing for a reason, and you're not using it. Shame, shame. We know your name.
11 versus 8 though now. Oof, oof, and oh man.
So of course, Undead team here, the strategy is to score it as quickly as you possibly can, give the ball back to the humans, and hope for a blitz himself where the thrower can't pick this ball up to save his life, and then he picks the ball up and then somehow, some way gets a 2-2. Now I have seen miracles before, and I have seen a dwarf team come back on the 14th round down 2-0 in this very position. So it is possible.
Only in the semifinals, Silsei needed really, really good dice to get a 2-turn to prevent overtime, and he got them. RTSD failing the GFI for the frenzy hit, where he only needed to knock down that ghoul in order to get to overtime. And Silsei made it 2-turn touchdown from a desperate situation, so it's definitely still possible. But honestly, 2 touchdowns in 4 turns as a very, very crippled Undead team. I hope. It would be great. It would be great if we get very, very close to the 2-2 score, just for the excitement. But honestly, I'm not counting on it.
We'll see. Again, I have seen dwarves come back down 2-0 on the 14th round, and he's receiving the ball, as you see here, on the 14th. So this Undead team gonna have to match that and do better, but I mean, yeah.
Well, if he scores in 2 turns and he gets a blitz, then everything is up. Oh, wow, Ornan, you filthy looker! And look where the ball is! Oh, poor Silsei! Completely committed on the other flank.
Poor Silsei. I'm damaging my keyboard right now.
Oh, wow! I think someone over at Focus really, really wanted another French World Cup, or someone over at Cyanide, and they accidentally boosted the wrong team. Ouch!
Wow,
Ouch!
and of course, gonna put the catcher right underneath the ball straight away. Why waste any time? And also give him some support. If this isn't GG.
All the blitzes. Oh, wow.
2 blitzes on the day. Wow.
Such BS. Now, admittedly, Ornan is a very, very high caliber coach. I mean, winning the Rebel Super Bowl, getting this far in the World Cup, but this game, he didn't really need to flaunt his skill in order to get the win. Oh.
Anybody could have won this game. Anybody.
Wow. Wow. So, even with these dice, Silsei would have still beaten a lot of people because there are huge differences in skill. But
we could turn this the other way around, right? Silsei is so good that it took Ornan 2 blitzes and
to go 3-0
to go and win this one.
3-0. Oh, wow.
That's what it took here. The strength of Silsei being brought down.
Okay, 4+ fails, but the bounce is the worst thing that could happen to Silsei. I mean, a lucky bounce here could have seen like a 4+ pickup and a fast progress down the flank, but that bounce makes things more hopeless than they were before.
Well, now all the Undead team can do here is just blitz the human team into the ball, hope for a really great bounce, a pickup by a zombie for the throw to the ghoul, and then the run by the ghoul for the touchdown by the end. It's going to happen, guys. I see it in the future. Don't you guys go away. The grand final is going to be nothing but craziness.
Yeah, there's definitely a 2-die chain on the ball. The problem is, where do you go from there?
That's Blood Bowl hype for you guys, in case you haven't noticed. The zombie will pick this ball up and he will huck it across the sideline on the 6+. No interception. It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. And I'll be right here when it does. Yeah, take that, human player. Take that. That's the start of something. Undead are looking to get this drive going and make this into a game.
Oh,
But
and why not?
Comes out.
Why not double skull into 1 and 9? No, was it?
You know what?
It was the other way
I
around.
can't see
Even
this
worse.
game anymore because my monitor is broken from a very physical hit to the center of the screen. What happened?
You're not missing much. The undead are continuing their poor dice laden game. Humans, they don't have rerolls. They don't care. They've got sure hands. They've got pass. They're gonna punch everything away from the vicinity. Now the tackler is busy, so at least Ornan can't blitz the ghoul in the backfield with tackle. But there's no need. He's on top of this. He's going to win 3-0. And there is pretty much nothing Silsei can do about it at this point. Here, another knockdown. See, that's a pow push. Don't reroll that. Oh.
Ouch.
Herring Sword in chat is saying, hand off to the catcher and go for 4-0. I think that would be class, actually. I mean, you've already picked Shadowing. There's the pickup.
Yep, there's the pickup.
There's a GFI there, though. I think if there hadn't been a GFI for the catcher, he might have done so. But without a reroll, you're not risking a GFI there. Apologies for the noise. There's someone hammering something really, really close to my studio.
I think that's Silsei hammering the table.
I can hear it from France.
Your place. You can hear it.
Yes.
That's Silsei, guys. Banging his head against the wall. That's Sage here.
Here, 2 die on the ghoul, getting the knockdown. Of course he does. Solid cage there. Mummy kept busy, one of them at least.
Yeah, and at this point, Silsei should probably just pass the turns because it's GG.
Yeah, there is no recovering from this.
But I think being the competitor and being at World Cup, he may just continue to play on here.
He still wants to turn 16 file something at the very least.
Might as well.
Oh,
Silsei, it's gonna be all right, man. It's gonna be all right.
Not the nose.
just don't mess up that pretty face. It'll be okay. Just, I don't even know. I think we had both contestants saying that they would come in for an interview, but I kind of don't blame Silsei for not coming in if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, we'd already said that we'd interviewed the winner, so I think Ornan won't mind telling us just how glorious it felt. Shadowing the new meta. Intimidation tactics.
Intimidation. Once you get shadowing, it's GG.
Silsei.exe has stopped working.
Yes, indeed. So, of course, guys, don't go away. We are going to hear from Ornan, who is going to be the likely winner here, unless, he wants to hand the ball off to a mummy and let the Undead team back into this game. But the way that Nuffling is handing it on a very silver and gold platter to the humans, I very doubt that he would be able to give the handoff to the mummy after all.
Yeah, Ornan definitely played some games that made him deserve his place here, though. I mean, the game against the Orcs, he really, really outplayed him and did a great job. And he's an awesome, awesome coach. It's just kind of sad that we don't get the opportunity. That wasn't me. It's pretty sad that we don't get the opportunity for him to flaunt his skills in the grand final. But if you want to see some of the most exciting Blood Bowl games ever, then do check out the semi-final games that were played just before this, because those were also very, very exciting matches.
Why not? Mummy just fails on the 3+. Man, we can't even catch a break.
That's
Pushes
a white,
on the
but
cage.
yes.
Man. And really, Silsei is doing a good job attacking the cage here. Just couldn't get one more guy over to help.
So all he's got for going for him now is that there's a mummy on the ball that needs to be removed. Not too hard.
And yes, the white trying to dodge away. He's dead. Boy. Actually got guard on the white on the last for this game too. Oh boy. Humans didn't get to use shadowing though. I think that's the most unfortunate thing about this World Cup.
He got to try once.
2 blitzes. He got the one try, but unfortunately you guys didn't see it.
Allegedly, he got one attempt going. Yeah.
One attempt at the shadowing and he failed.
Are we gonna see the mummy get piled on again? Nope. 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 Not getting piled on.
He's thinking about re-rolling that. I think why not at this point, but
so at this moment I see Rebel getting plugged in chat. Can't really blame them for that. Wow.
Yeah, and people, I think one of the largest leagues in Blood Bowl.
Oh, at least Ornan feels something. So Silsei get one more chance to throw some punches.
Is actually going to get a 2-die block on the ball after standing up the zombie there, I think. No, he's going to need an assist, so at least a 1-die block. No, not even.
Silsei has had a very, very rough match. Spoke to us in Discord saying that he just might tune into the stream at this point because it might be more interesting than the match itself. Oh, well. Silsei, if you're hearing this, you definitely got shafted here. Not to say anything against Ornan's coaching, but he didn't need to coach well with these dice today. He did a great job getting here, as did you, Silsei, and massive respect to both of you.
You can't feel bad. There can only be one coach that wins. So everyone here in the World Cup, all 64 coaches, give yourselves a pat on the back. You guys all made it past the gauntlet. There could only be one winner, and definitely every one of you deserved this World Cup here. So kudos out to you guys. I mean, yeah, this is a big dicing here, but this happens in Blood Bowl, and, this is all too familiar sight.
Yeah, Silsei definitely got worse here than I did against him, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chain push.
Combo. Well, I guess that works too. Here comes the 2-die block coming up on the ball carrier. And the ghoul likely to do the pickup if, Nuffle doesn't hate the Undead team any further.
No, he's going to roll double skulls. Oh! He can't reroll. He can't reroll the power push.
The ball comes out in a great spot here for the ghoul to retrieve it. So we're going to see the ghoul fall short of the touchdown here because he won't have enough movement to get there. Yeah. But that's okay. He's got the rock, and it won't be a 3-0 shellacking. Well, still.
Actually, if he had dodged through instead of around, he could have gotten into touchdown range.
I think at this point, he's just happy to have the ball. Might just punt it at this point.
Poor Ornan will have to settle for a 2-0 win unless he pulls some magic here.
Yeah. We might see the ghoul punt it here, but I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. White coming over to help, but nope, gonna fail yet another 3+ because Nuffle hates Silsei. We have established this fact. This seems like one of my games.
So, Ornan gonna get someone in touchdown range at least? Oh, he's already got 2 catchers there anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know, we wanted a best of 3 here for the grand finals, but Nethios needs to go home at some point, right? I think the French aren't supposed to work past like 5 o'clock or something.
Okay. A stun here is as good as a death.
Yeah, but it's the psychology, right? I mean, if he dies there, you're just like, son of a bee, and then you're gonna hear banging once again in the background.
So, congratulations to Ornan, the new Blood Bowl 2 World Champion.
Yes,
wow.
Indeed. A well-deserved World Cup victory. All brought to you by Asus Republic Gamers. $3,000, a really pimp gaming PC, and lots of little games to boot, and a partridge and a pear tree.
Yeah. More gear as well. So,
Keyboard,
yes.
mouse.
I have to admit, I am very happy to see someone representing Rebel doing this well. It's a lovely league, and it's a great place to play. Organized Blood Bowl at a massive scale. 3 different sub-leagues for the different time zone segments, essentially, so that scheduling within the main season is relatively painless, but then worldwide playoffs. So Ornan from the US playing in the REL, which is the American part of the Rebel, but there's also a European subpart and an Australasian one, the G-Man and the Big O. So it's a great way to have a worldwide community with local main seasons. This game is over.
Hey, you know what though? My prediction, Ornan, is looking good. And not only that, Blood Bowl's coming home, guys. USA, USA, USA. That's right, guys.
It was in Canada though, but sure.
Yeah, it was Canada, so yeah, it's now it's just moving a little bit down south.
Good to point out, if any of you are new to Blood Bowl as a game, the Rebel League has a rookie division, the Reddit Rookie League, which is actually how Ornan got into this entire thing, and it is highly recommended for learning how to play the game, because it can get you here in the World Cup as the champion. Let's get Ornan in here. Ornan, the champion. Hello, Ornan.
Hello.
Congratulations, my man. Well done.
Thanks. Oh, this is amazing, man. I didn't think I'd even get this far. This is cool. This is great.
Oh,
Yeah,
man. Where in the U.S. do you hail?
Over in New Jersey, sadly. I'm sorry.
In Jersey.
Oh man, what a rebel win! Oh my God, that was like, a victory.
So
lap
take
at
us
the
through
end.
the game here, where you sacrificed a whole bunch of virgins and whatever else. Well, tell us your preparation for this match. What did you do to earn Nuffle's favor?
Well, I guess we got all the close games out of the way on the way here.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. But Silsei
Well
was fun
done.
to play against. He was good to chat with. And everything
That's
like that.
good.
He was a good sport about it.
Yeah, indeed. It's every Blood Bowler's nightmare when the dice just does not let you back into the game. But of course, that doesn't slight you at all. I mean, I always said it here in chat, was that Silsei needed to get blitzed twice and the dice go really horribly wrong for you to actually have just a sliver of chance of winning against such a great coach.
Oh yeah, totally, man. Like, what chance did I have against a person
I
who was
don't
playing
even-
since 1987, right?
I don't even know. Can't even
Man.
fathom.
I can't even like imagine how much. Well, I'm not gonna go there into the reroll on the ball that was the stumbles
That
and
was
push, but
That was a pressure moment, and
was a
not
pressure.
not an indication of general coaching skill. Absolutely.
no.
But yeah, do you feel like you would have rather seen this be a very close match?
Yeah, kind of. It would have been. I mean, I was loving every second of it. But if I had like a match where like it was down to like 6 players on both sides, and like if I got like just one shadowing proc, I would have been like, oh yeah, and I would have been like partying on the side of my screen. But
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
shadowing is just good for attracting rocks. Apparently, this game.
Yeah, absolutely. He shadowed the floor real good.
Shadowed it right into the ground.
So was there any moment where you just thought, oh boy, Silsei might come back here?
Well, I did feel like I messed up on the first blitz where I didn't keep a tackle safety in the back. Because
Yep.
I was like, well,
Yep.
I kind of kept him in the middle. So I was like, he can still reach if he goes back because he's got 7 movement. But he ended up getting a little tied down. There's zombies in the way. So that was a bad move on my part.
When you did that, did you realize that he could give it to the forward ghoul on the out of bounds?
Yes.
Okay.
I try to keep in mind how much movement that ghoul had, even though I blocked him off with the ogre and like the thrower and whatnot. But I try to keep in mind who could reach him.
To be fair, your tackler could have reached him with 2 GFIs, but after that double skull, it was just not worth the risk, I guess. And then you got the POW with the lineman, and suddenly everything was gold.
Everything was golden. Here we go, catching the ball again. Those pickups, whatever. We got catches. Catches here.
Yeah.
Who needs to pick it up when you can just catch it on the fly?
Right? It's been like every single one of these games. It's been crazy.
Wow.
Also, now that we're on the phone, I'd like to congratulate you on the semifinal as well, because that was a very hard-fought victory where you really got to demonstrate your magnificent coaching skill. So, kudos for that.
Yeah. That was
you
a
have
game
plans-
I was a lot more proud of.
Do you have plans for the money?
I have a few plans. I plan on taking my family out to dinner at a very nice place, first of all.
Awesome.
I'm going to give the games I'm going to be getting to the rookie league to give a little bit more motivation to, get to the finals and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Maybe
You've
a little
heard it, people.
donation.
You want to get free
that?
games from... You heard it, people. You want to get free games from the world champion? Join the Reddit Rookie League.
you
Yeah.
go.
And I guess the rest will go to the power bill for the new PC.
Pretty much. Whew. Oh yeah, and a new headset, so I don't sound like crap every time I get interviewed.
You sound fine, man. North America again takes home the World Cup. Does that speak? Excuse me. Does that speak to our skill? Does that speak to? I mean, because normally you kind of hear a lot of. Normally you kind of hear the Europeans say that, hey, we got all the better players here. But now that we've won another World Cup, what do you think, Ornan? Do you think-
Well, America hasn't really taught me how to play Blood Bowl. I would give more of the thanks to Rebel personally.
Indeed.
Thank you.
No, I think
you did
North
great.
America's just we're just smarter and better and all around.
Yeah, congratulations, man. You did a great job. I'd say go celebrate. Is there anything you would like to say to the viewers as the new world champion for at least the next 2 years?
Oh man, see you next time. This
Oh,
would be
that
great.
sounds good. I love it.
Yes,
All right.
indeed.
VG, you have any questions for Ornan?
No, I mean, I guess this is a really well-earned victory.
Oh,
Humans proving it that this was probably the proper meta, and the admins will just have to work harder to nerf humans now. So there you go, nerf humans.
Speaking of that, I would like to see in the next World Cup, split up the tiers a little bit more. Like
Yep.
maybe put in a 1.5 and like a 2.5 and stuff like that.
For sure.
That would help a lot.
sounds
yeah,
like a great suggestion. Absolutely.
There was already a lot of debate with the skills already, and so we just never had time to talk about the 1.5 and 2.5, and so just be kind of happy the way it is now. But yeah, then if there is going to be a next World Cup, then we will definitely consider splitting it up, and hopefully I'll have some more data to go on for how many skills to put on which tier 2.5 teams and what will go where.
Oh,
At
for
least
sure.
At least the semifinals were 2 tier 1s and 2 tier 2s.
Yes, I was about to say that it's not like it was all humans in the finals and semifinals and stuff like that. It still came down a lot to the coaches. But if you wanted to get a little more variance, I think varying up the tiers would be a great way to do that.
I think no matter what, there would be a meta. So I think that
Sure.
even if you try to do that, there's always going to be one race that just looks on paper a little bit better. And so I think we just still did a good job with it.
It was great.
Humans were more picked, but I still don't think, I mean, it was the meta, but I still don't think that it was just like the one team that everyone should have went with and could have went with, you know.
Well, clearly everyone had to go with Palm Humans because that was the way to go.
Yeah. Palm Humans with 2 rerolls. I can't believe that. Good stuff, man. That's really great.
It's fun to shake things up.
All right, well, that's it from me.
Well, massive congratulations. Ornan, world champion of Blood Bowl 2. Very, very well done. Very happy to see it. So happy for you. I'd like to take a moment to once again thank our sponsors, Aces Republic of Gamers, and of course, Focus Cyanide, the publishers and creators of the game. VG Purist, thank you very much for co-casting with me again as well. This was a pleasure. You can find VG on his Twitch and YouTube, as well as myself. I'm the Sage. It was a lot of fun casting for you guys. And it's over! We have a champion! Woo! Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.